All right. How's everybody doing today? This is probably going to be my last video on, the whole unemployment journey. Just because it's the last thing of like substance I think I could actually bring everybody regarding that like topic. I don't want to just blabber about it because it gets, a cool amount of views. But this is some serious shit that I think most people are unprepared for, and I was certainly unprepared for it. So I guess here goes. So this is gonna be basically from my experience, the worst things about finding a job in this job market because we all know how shitty it is right now. It is butt booty bad. It is so not good, and like it is what it is. We all gotta go through it still. So the goal today is to walk through the shitty experiences I had and hope that you guys can kind of be more prepared for them than I was. And so the first one, the big one, I mean, you guys saw the video. LinkedIn and like Indeed scams. The scam I had wasn't through either of those. It was through a company called Wellfound, but just job board scams in general, right? Job board scams are insanely massive. I've had people attempt to scam me with fake job listings in the past. I've never fallen for it. I'm always like, how do people fall for that shit? Look at me now, down a bank account. So that is a big one, right? Always make sure you're applying through, company sites. Don't go on LinkedIn or Indeed or any other job board and hit the easy apply and all that. I know it's faster, I know it's easier, but genuinely don't do that. Like unless you can see who the hiring manager is on those job postings and you can message them directly, it's not worth your time. And both the job offers that I got were both from me going directly to the company and applying on their company website. And also, it's just an easier way to get interviews and to get a direct discourse with the company, not just an automated message back. So that's a big thing for me. Um, Avoid easy applies, avoid anything that looks too good to be true because, as we've come to find out, as I learned the hard way, that shit is just too good to be true. um, so that's number one. That's the absolute first thing. The second thing that I was absolutely unprepared for, right? What I was told was that when I got my job in my field, after working for about 1 or 2 years, I'm going to be able to get another job in my field that's paying me much more, right? They're going to be paying me, 70, 80K a year, even possibly up to 100 because I was getting paid, like shit for being a full stack developer. And so, I lost my job and I'm like, whatever. At least I got a couple of years of experience. Like, I'm going to make more money. Boy, was I wrong. No, these companies want you to work more hours. And if it's up to them, they would fucking pay you in high fives. Like, there is absolutely no amount of money that how do I put this without sounding fucking stupid? I was not prepared for how much of a low ball people would give me. And that's I mean, like it's honestly just disrespectful. And I think the right way to handle that instead of the way I was kind of handling it, being like, oh, okay, like we can discuss that and all that, is just tell them straight up, like, yo, that is a disrespectful offer. Because if a company's offering you fucking $15 an hour to be a full stack developer, tell them to just suck your dick. Like, because they're not being serious about getting you the job. And if they are, for what you're doing, you're being so underpaid, it's not worth your time. At that point, just be unemployed. And that's personally how I feel. But yeah, low pay, especially for the experience too. Like they'll have like senior level jobs, like wanting 12 years of experience, and they're getting paid 70K a year. Now, does that affect me? Because I don't have 12 years of experience, so fuck no. But still, I mean, just think about that. Like 12 years of experience, 70K a year, full stack developer. It's just it's so fucking bizarre to me. So those are the two big ones off rip, right? Those, and then kind of going off the last one, we have like the interviews. Now, interviewing for jobs is always kind of ass. I've interviewed for jobs before. I've had jobs before. I obviously interviewed. My first job ever at like a supermarket kind of thing. that was mad easy. I walked in there. They were like, "Do you have your ID?" I was like, "Of course." And then they asked me a couple questions, asked me why I wanted to work there. And like you just gotta give them some bullshit answers. Tell them what they want to hear normally. Like, yeah, I just can see myself going along with the mission, like whatever the fuck it is, right? This company's mission really stands out to me, providing premier customer service. I don't give a fuck about customer service, but like they want to hear that. You tell them that, and they know you're bullshitting, but they're like, all right, he's gonna play along. We're gonna hire him. And that's how my other job interviews have kind of worked in the past. Obviously, if you're seeing this video, you probably saw my video about that insane interview I had with that company. That video, by the way, it's almost at 50K views. So thank you, everybody. That's insane. Like, that's really cool to me. But yeah, so like, if you haven't seen the video, I'm not gonna be like, go back and watch it. I'll give you like a little brief synopsis. I walked into a company. They weren't prepared to interview me. Nobody knew they were interviewing me. They fucking basically ran an interview train on me. Had like four different people come by that weren't prepared to interview me. It was a whole fucking experience. And they were a shitty company. So, like I said, the fucking interview experiences, like those are the absolute worst. Like it cannot get worse than that. Like nowadays, at least like the recent job interviews I've had, it's just more like they know you're desperate for work and they're like, so this is how things go here. You're gonna deal with it. Like that's basically what an interview is nowadays. It's not like, oh, like what do you want to know about us? How can we, work with you better? How like they never meant it before, but at least they would say that shit. And then now with just like the state of the economy and like the job market, they know that they hold all the power, that the second you walk in that room, bro, like they got you by the balls and you're so fucked. So that's a big one. Honestly, the interview experiences were the worst part about finding a job. I will say, the role I did accept that I'm going to be starting here, their interview one was genuinely the only one where I was like, whoa, every person I talked to, they were really cool. They actually genuinely seemed to care. They asked me about my past experiences. Like they clearly read my resume and like read into me a bit, so they knew who I was. Like they were asking me questions about that they would have to like look at that shit to know. And so I appreciate that. That's honestly a big part of why I went with this company, because I could tell that obviously I went with the company because I need a job, but out of the two job offers, I could tell that they seemed to at least care more about me as a person than the other one that was just like, you're going to take this job because you need a job. And the other company lowballed the shit out of me too after doing that. So I'm very lucky that I had the interview I did with the company I did. They're really cool people. And I'm not just saying that because like I got hired there, because at the end of the day, like they don't know who the fuck I am. Like that's why I'm not giving them a free shout out on here. Um, at the end of the day, like I'm just telling the truth from my experience, and they were cool people. So that's why I went with them. But yeah, dude, make sure you're fucking like going into interviews prepared, ready for them to basically like talk down to you. And honestly, what I learned was to kind of stand up for yourself a bit, because before, like in interviews, I always was just like, like, oh, like go along kind of what they say. But just recently, in like my little unemployment stretch here, like the jobs have been getting mad disrespectful, and maybe they've been like that for a while, and I've just been lucky. But just don't let them do that to you. That should go without saying. But yeah, that's a big one. And the background checks. Now, so I did accept, like I said, I accepted two job offers. I'm going with one of the companies, but both companies, they want to do like background checks and all that, which is totally fine. I don't have a criminal record. I don't have anything, like to hide. But the company I ended up not going with, the one that kind of treated me a little shitty in the interview process, their background check was so detailed. They needed like W-2s from every job I've had back to high school. There was documents I had to get that I didn't know I had. And then they were like, "Oh, this employer says you never stopped working for them." And I'm like, "Well, I stopped working for them in August of like fucking 2022." So that's real bizarre. We're obviously at an impasse here. And so, like, the company just, I guess, put in there that I was still working for them, which is weird. I've had now three jobs since then. So that is what it is. They basically, I had to call that like the help support line, had me on hold for like 4 hours just to be like, oh, okay, like I'll just cancel it here. Thanks for calling us. Bye. So that was kind of shitty. The person on the phone was at least cool, but like it's not their fault the wait time was long, I guess. But that was trash. Background checks, like the one for the company now, that one went really smoothly. The one that I'm gonna accept, that one went through mad quick. I gave them what they need basically. They just wanted my like, that one was just like my social and my first and last name kind of thing. The other one wanted like, every single thing. Um, which is weird because they could just look that up themselves if they have my social and all that. But I guess, make me do more work than I need to, I guess, so you can do less. And then they ended up doing more anyways because their system was kind of fucking up. So that's a big part. And then this one pertains to the job I just took, the one that I'm accepting. I had to do a drug test for them. And as you guys know, I've made videos about it before. I'm not shy about it. I've smoked weed. I like smoke weed every now and then. I stopped for a long time. I haven't for like a month straight now. I'm trying to take a whole little, like 60 days off. So I wasn't worried about that. And then I also read the fine print. The job doesn't even test for THC. So I'm completely safe. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't got to worry about it. That's dope. Um, so I go in and I go to do a walk in, and I'm gonna shout out the fucking company it was too, because I fucking hate this company. I go to do a walk in at LabCorp. Now I've had issues with LabCorp before because there's only like really two areas to even get tests like that done in my area, and it's LabCorp and another company that I'm gonna get to in a second. Now, LabCorp, they I had a lot of medical issues in high school growing up, and I had to go to them for a lot of like blood tests and all that. And I just had a really bad experience with a blood test there. But I kind of was like, you know what, water under the fridge. I just got to go pee in a cup. Like it'll be fine. So I walk in there for my walk-in appointment, and it's like about an hour and a half before they close. And I go in the little kiosk. There's nobody actually out there. There's like a little window, but nobody's at the window, and it says to use the kiosk to check in. So I check in. I scan my ID in the kiosk, which is wild. This really that was kind of cool. But yeah, so it tells me like, all right, you're checked in. You could either wait in the lobby or wait in your car, and we'll text you and call you when your like appointment's ready. And there's like, so I'm like, all right, cool. So I wasn't gonna wait in the lobby because they only had about fucking five and a half seats in there, and there was like people standing up along the walls. It was a very small lobby, and obviously, like like the seats were all full. So I'm like, I'm just gonna sit in my car in the air conditioning, and just wait. It can't be that long, and even if it is, it's only an hour and a half, whatever. So I'm sitting out there in my car, and I'm like, dude, they haven't called me still. They haven't texted me still. I'm gonna walk up there. I walk up at about 2:57. Right, they close at 3 p.m. Tell me why there's nobody in the lobby and the door is locked. And I'm furious. I try calling them. It's like, oh, sorry, we're closed. First of all, you're open for 3 more minutes, dog. You're not closed. Number two, I still haven't got a text or call from them, obviously. And it's just, that was some real bullshit. I was really upset about that. And the next day, I have to get this done, soon because I have my start date of my new job, and I have to get it done before then. They have to get the test before then, so I got to do it like at least 3 days before my new job because it takes 2 days to get the test results. And obviously, I know I'm clean, but my job needs to know that too before they can pay me. And so I fucking have to do all this shit. And I'm like, damn, I can't even go the next day because it was my friend's birthday and I was going to the beach with him. And actually, I got a story about that too that I could probably drop that's coming up soon because there was an odd experience that happened there. But anyways, I was like, damn it, okay, I'm gonna have to wait another day. So, like last Friday is when I finally got the test. By the way, this is why I haven't been like posting a video since the last one. Like, I didn't just get a job and like fucking, sail off into the shitty sunset. Like, I'm of course gonna keep making videos. I've just been mad busy. And so finally, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make an appointment. I'm not doing it through LabCorp. I'm doing it through the fucking goat, Quest Diagnostics. Now I walk into Quest Diagnostics. I have my appointment set. I set it the day before. Had an appointment at 11 a.m. The earliest I can make one. I walk in there. I am in the bathroom peeing in a cup by 11:15 a.m. Tell me how they are not goaded right now. I'm dude. I'll glaze Quest Diagnostics till the day I die after what LabCorp did to me. And so I'm in there, and like I said, it's just like it's a fucking it's a fucking drug test. So like the reason I'm saying to watch out for the shit is because like it's just a shitty experience. Like even like the waiting at Quest Diagnostics, I was in the lobby for about 10 minutes before like waiting for my appointment time, and there was like a political cold war going on where like which is wild to say, but like there was like these two dudes sitting side by side, and like this one had a bigger lobby but it was still full, and one guy was like playing like like TikToks like on full volume, and I don't know what he was watching. I mean, I know like the audio because it was a Bad Bunny song, and that's what comes into play here. Now the song fire. I don't know the fuck what the song's called. I don't ask me that question. I don't know, but it was gas. I know that much. And so I'm sitting there, and then this guy next to him, and I couldn't have pulled this guy out of a movie. Like I don't want to like sound rude, but he looked like he wouldn't be okay with that guy playing that. I'll put it that much. And he starts like not even like he's not on like Facebook, he's not on any like social media. He's like a 40, 50-year-old dude. He just opens his music app and like on full volume starts playing like country music, like older country music, and holding his phone in the air while staring at the guy. And I'm over here like, dude, what is going on right now? This is like a missile crisis in the fucking lobby of this place. So that was real bizarre. But my appointment time went in, so I got up. I didn't get to see the outcome of that. They were both out of the lobby when I left, so I don't know what happened there. I wish I had a story for you guys there, but I don't, because I'm just happy I got to pee in my cup. And then like the workers at a lot of these testing areas, they're usually not the nicest, but that's fine. I guess you don't got to be nice as long as like people are moving, like doing our jobs. I don't care. I'm not always nice while I do my job, I guess, right? So that was dope. But yeah, that's a big one. That's honestly the worst experiences I had. Like I said, like the job scams on job boards don't easy apply. Don't accept overly like low pay. I understand like I'm getting paid less than I want to at my job I accepted, but like not to the extent of some of these other companies offering me. And then stand up for yourself in the interviews more. I've realized that myself. I kind of had to learn that one. That's a big one. I rambled a lot in this video. Sorry about that too. But, also like the background checks were a shitty part of like getting the job, and then the drug test. Like just or the places that do the drug test. I guess is more of like the issue than the actual drug test itself. I mean, unless you're on some shit, then maybe the drug test itself is an issue, but you probably shouldn't be doing that. So don't do that, man. But yeah, so that's kind of my experiences on like the worst part of finding a job and like what to look out for. I appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, this is probably gonna be my last like video on unemployment, like the topic. I mean, if not forever, for a while, certainly. I mean, hopefully. Um, Unless I could like, think of something that would like, add value to someone looking for a job, right? Like this right here, I'm kind of going over things that I found trickier than they have been in the past. And yeah, like I appreciate everybody for watching. I do have a pretty cool video I plan on dropping later this week. It's just going to be a little bit of a longer one. I know this one's a little bit longer too. I kind of just started fucking rambling, and man, I mean, I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I feel like I keep trying to end this video. I keep trying to like end it, but I keep fucking blabbering. So, I mean, if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe. It means the world. And yeah, man, thanks for watching.